Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you haven't yet, subscribe, like, share and comment.
Turn notifications on.
And turn the notifications on. Hi guys, this is Amna Kardar and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm very excited to tell you that we're starting a new series, and the series is called Mindful Parenting. And this is
I am the demon child that has rised above the ground and aka her child. If you don't know from her Instagram, I am actually her child. So
what do you mean actually? I didn't grab another child from another world to get here. This is Tahura Hisha. She's 13 years old and I am a single mom, and together we've come through a lot, and we've decided, and Tahura actually decided, that maybe we should do a series of 15 episodes where we talk about how children and parents can connect.
yeah,
So what was your idea behind it, Tahura? Why did you want to do this?
because what used to happen before that, we used to have a lot of difficulties, and I can see a lot of parents when I meet their family members or their
That they're making the same mistakes.
Don't interrupt me, mother.
Oh,
please.
okay, sorry, I'm interrupting her.
Anyway, so when I go over to someone's house and I meet their parents, then they seem kind of I don't know how to explain it, but
Let's not talk about other parents. You can just dump the whole thing on me.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. So basically, in 2020, she used to put a lot of expectation on me, and we went through a rough time because she really didn't understand what I was going through at the time and everything, because I was actually going through a lot by myself. And then she was also going through the divorce, so both of us kind of lost control in there. And basically what happened is that we ended up getting a bunch of problems. But if we developed our relationship, and we actually are better now, so thank Lord.
Yeah,
It
so
may have taken 3 years, but you need to put time and effort.
that's true. So basically, let me just revise all of that. No, let me just summarize all of that. So I'll just summarize all of that for you. So basically, I was being a parent, what typical parents do, and I was obviously going about, because as parents we're not perfect. So I was going about putting all these pressures on her, not knowing that I was actually putting pressures on her, because I thought that I was doing her a favor by asking her to study harder, by getting upset with her that she wasn't getting the grades that I wanted, by comparing her to other children, and by doing a lot of these things that we generally do and we don't realize that we're doing them. So what I didn't realize was that while I was doing all of that, Tahura was not really responding, and I was just getting more and more angry, and she was getting more and more agitated. And eventually what happened was that there came a point where I think we just completely distanced from each other. She didn't tell me how she was feeling, and I just kept thinking that she is a bad child and is not listening to me. So there was no communication between us until there came a point where we decided, and she went to therapy, I went to therapy, and we realized that, okay, you know what, maybe we need to sit down and listen to what the other person has to say. And that's where our journey began of healing, and where my journey began of being a mindful parent. And I realized that a lot of things that I was doing, because somebody told me, I went to an energy reader actually, and I told him that I'm very stressed about Tahura, and I think because I'm a single parent, and because of her father she's really stressed. And that energy reader turned around to me and said, actually it's got nothing to do with her father, you're the one putting pressure on her. And my whole world collided, and I thought, what do you mean? I'm the parent who's
Yes,
here.
you're
I'm the
the
parent
father.
who's making the effort. I'm the parent who's footing the bills. I'm the parent who's doing this. How is she stressed because of me? And then I sat down and I thought about it, and I thought, okay, let me just come to her and ask her that if this is how she feels. And oh my God, it was like a volcano erupted. When I asked her, there was a list of things that Tahura had.
Still is.
And she just went on, and I realized, oh my God. So initially I was a little offended, but then I sat down and I thought about it, and I thought, okay, wait, you know what? Maybe I'm not perfect, nobody is, right? And I'm also learning as a parent. So maybe I should actually sit down and we should start talking about it. And the more we talked about it, the more we realized how many mistakes I was making as a parent. And the more she didn't talk to me about it and she kept quiet, she realized how it was affecting her internally, and our relationship eventually was at a loss. So then we decided that, I'm still not, I still make mistakes, and we still, end up doing things and saying things that we don't mean, because a lot of times what happens is that it has really nothing to do with her. If I would come back after a hard day of work, I'd probably take it out on her if she hadn't done her homework. I wouldn't even ask her why she didn't do her homework. If something was happening at school and she wasn't performing in a subject, instead of asking her, what's the reason, why are you not performing, I would just lash out on her. Sometimes she would just be sitting and I would walk in and she'd be upset at a friend or something that happened at school, and she would just completely close down in front of me. Or if she was crying or whatever, she would not share her feelings with me, and she would just, take it out on me. I am like in the line of fire most of the time.
Yes, she is, because what happens is that we both take our anger out on each other. Like, for example, if I had a frustrating day at school, she had a frustrating day, she'll take it out on me, and then I'll take it out on her.
And we don't mean to. So basically what we realized that at the end of the day, it's just me and her against the world, and we love each other. So we decided that we're going to change the course of how we were handling the situation, and then we went on changing that course.
Yeah, and basically, like, if you're a parent, no offense to anyone here or anyone watching or whatever, I'm pretty sure if you have a child, you do this as well. So you can't really say anything.
Probably.
Because you don't even need to do it on purpose. It's more like it just happens sometimes naturally. And even if you're a really good parent, it still like happens, of course. I mean, everyone has frustrations and everything.
But do you feel that when I put pressure on you, you can perform better?
No.
Okay, I'm wrong there. Do you feel that when I compare you to your cousins and say that cousin is performing and you're not, you try harder?
What is that? No.
Listen, these are the things that we think as parents. If I tell you, I am making so much effort and paying your fees, you better get me grades and come first, second, third, does that motivate you?
No, but here's the thing. It's not only a one-sided thing. Both people, like both daughters or sons or both or parents, whatever, they're both doing what they can.
Yeah.
For example, you don't know, but a child is actually trying to impress you, because what I used to do is that I used to try to impress my mother like half the time in 2020.
Really? Why? I never told you to impress me. I'm already impressed by you.
2020.
I was impressed by you when you were born. You didn't feel like that.
Not at all.
Okay.
So I had to figure out ways to impress her. So I started painting, and apparently my academic grades were more important than that. So I tried to study more, but the more I studied, the more my mental health actually ended up decreasing, and I ended up getting sick, because apparently when your mental health is down, your physical health also
Everything
goes
goes when your mental health goes.
Yeah.
As a parent, as a kid, as a human being.
Yeah, but yeah, it just happens. For example, like, you know how dogs die of depression when you leave them alone for too long?
Animals, generally.
Yeah, animals generally. Some things also happen with humans. For example, like, if you put too much expectation on them, then you already have decided their future, and you think that...
I mean, most parents have already decided their children's future, and they've decided, okay, I want my kid to be a doctor.
I'm not going to name anyone, but we know a lot of people.
You know who you are. But we decided that we're not going to do that anymore. Tahura is going to be who she is. As parents, what happens is that sometimes we forget that children are not an extension of us. They are individual human beings, and we need to let them be individual. They have their own interests. They have their own thinking. They have their own way of learning.
Basically, what we were talking about is that when you put too much pressure on your kids, it
sorry.
kind of affects them.
So I was saying that, sometimes you think that children are an extension of us, and the subjects that we were good in, they should be good in. The way we used to study, they should study. The way we behaved with our parents, they should behave with us. The way we grew up. But we grew up in a very different generation. This is a completely different generation, and that is something which we need to... I mean, when I was growing up and I was her age, there were no computers, there was no internet, there was no telephones, there was one car for the whole house, one telephone for the whole house. I mean, we grew up in a very different society, and then these are children who have seen the pandemic and all of that. So just like that, if your phone or if your computer or if everything else, the hard drive is the same, but the software needs to be updated. I realized that I needed to update my software, because there was a communication gap. She was telling me, I was telling her, and there was a huge gap in the middle. So we decided we're going to fill that, and I think we've kind of come a very long way.
Yeah.
So Tahura's idea was, and some of the children that also have these issues of connecting with their parents. So that's why we decided that maybe through our experience we can share some things with you, and we will do 15 episodes, and in every episode we'll do 15 different topics, and we will talk about what we do as parents, which is wrong, and what children do as children, which is wrong, and how we can come together and do better mindful parenting. And that ways I think we can have a happy relationship, happy children, happy parents, right?
Yeah.
And as far as children is concerned, happy parents, happy children. So sometimes we need to back off, we need to apologize. Sometimes they need to back off, they need to apologize. It's not a battle of the ego. हम लोग अपनी ईगो को बना लेते हैं.
You have to respect your elders, but you also have to respect your youngers.
That's true actually. We've always been taught that there are no boundaries as far as parents are concerned. They can go and say anything to you, but we need to respect them. No. As individuals, as human beings, we need to treat ourselves like that. And if you want the respect of your children, then as parents, you need to respect their choices. And children, if they want respect from their parents, they need to turn around and respect. So this is something that cannot be forcefully done. I think it needs to come from within. Don't you agree?
Yeah, but you know, here's the thing. It took me a while to kind of like trust her in general.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to gain her trust because...
Yeah, she hasn't gained all of my trust actually.
And the thing is, I'm to blame because I lost that trust over a period of time. So I hope you enjoy this series and we're going to see you soon.
Yep.